Hello everybody and welcome to Football United TV. I'm your host, Matt King, and yes, of course, I'm going to start off with a very tragic topic. Again, it's just again and again and again. Another racial moment in football happened in Serie A, and of course, there's been a lot of hype going on in the news about it the last day, actually. It's only happened last night. But it seems days now. There's so much tweeting going on and commenting on other media outlets about the situation, and I just wanted to clear up the air with you in my own respect. So there's a player in Serie A for Juventus called Moise Kean. It's really hard to pronounce that. I have to keep looking it up because I keep thinking like I can't pronounce the name. Very sorry about that. But yes. The basic point about this is he was playing for Juventus against Cagliari last night, and he scored a goal at the end, and he got a lot of racial abuse for it. And he went off into their side of the crowd, which is right by the goal on the right-hand side, and just sort of put his hands up and gave it his all and said, yeah, throw what you got at me. I've just scored a goal against you. And I've said this before. We said this with the Sterling incident with England and Montenegro, that it's such a tragedy that players have to go through this torment. Like, you can't just taunt somebody because you're on the opposite team saying, bugger off, you arsehole, or whatever. Like, you have to go on their skin colour or their gender or their sexual preference, or whatever it is. It's just not acceptable. And not only is it not acceptable, is that you hope that your teammates at least back you up on the situation that's happening. You know, they've been taught and told, probably from officials from all aspects of football, like from FIFA, UEFA, Italian Serie A, and just football in general, like media football. They should know that it's not good, like, to give racial hate some sort of stepping stone. And unfortunately, the Juventus defender Bonucci put out a tweet yesterday practically saying that it was a 50-50 and that the player shouldn't have done that in front of him, to be fair. But then the fans shouldn't have chanted what they chanted. It's just never a 50-50. When you say things like that are 50-50, you're giving people that have racial hatred towards people limelight. You're giving, not only are you giving them limelight, you're giving them the right to say it. You're playing for the club. You should never come out with a statement like that. You train, you eat, you sleep in the same hotels as this person. And how can you at least not stand up with him? All right, fair enough. Sometimes the best ways, people have like different directions on what the best thing is to do. But at the end of the day, you still stand up for someone. It's not like he did anything out of the ordinary. He just sort of took it on his shoulders. And I applaud that with enthusiasm, because that's just not what other people are doing in football. And a lot of people, even the Cagliari director and manager, didn't really say too much about it and didn't really push it off. Allegri, the Juventus manager, obviously did. He said there's one thing we can do about this sort of thing. We can look at the cameras. We can find out who exactly is doing it, because we don't want to punish everybody. Because, like Brexit, it isn't everybody. If you put everybody into that category, then we're never going to get any better. You need to pick out the specific people that are doing the wrongs in football. And he's right. Need to pick out and look in videos and ban these people for life. They're not welcome in football. They're not welcome at your clubs. It's down to the clubs as well. If you don't ban these people and you don't sort it out and you don't take a stance, then it will never get solved. And politically as well, because we know there's a lot of stuff going on, like racial hate, and it just needs to stop. Be more wise and be more mentally enthusiastic and able to talk about the problems that you face, because obviously there are problems with people saying this stuff. It becomes it boils down to a social thing. But if you're just going to pick people out for the colour of skin, you're never going to win. Don't do it. Don't stoop down. And even Bonucci came out today and said it was the heat of the moment, and after that sort of win and the crowd atmosphere, it kind of got a bit to me. But it was a bit, it's a little too late. You can't be saying them things at first. I don't care about the heat at the moment. The fact is, you need to be standing up for it. And the player that you're playing with, that you're meant to be a team player with, team. What does team mean? Look it up. That's exactly what it means. You help people out through that sort of stuff, especially that. And if you look at the other game, obviously that happened with, or what's happening with Inter Milan and Icardi, the way that the ultras of Inter Milan are fully against Icardi. There's some sort of dispute between Perisic and Icardi at Inter Milan, and the fans give him so much jip. He will clearly leave Inter Milan this season, and so will Koulibaly. And I think the racial thing that's going on in Italian Serie A is not acceptable. And of course, Italy is close to Montenegro. Is it something to do with the culture of that area of the world? I don't know that. But what I do know is education and mentation on racial hatred is worldwide. People know that it's wrong. In some countries like my own, it's wrong to throw racial hatred out upon somebody. And that's the first step. But there's so many more steps that we've got to climb. And it's definitely not going the right way in European football. It's a very horrible subject for me to talk about, because you don't have to judge somebody on their skin. I just don't understand. It's so stupid. And if anybody watching this thinks that I'm talking crap, then don't watch me. Because at the end of the day, if you feel that what I'm saying is against what you feel, give me a comment. Tell me something back, and then we'll have a talk about it. Because I love talking and trying to solve solutions in that sense. That's how every bad problem in life should be solved out, really. Not with hatred, with debating and talking and understanding, and obviously there are different environmental issues going on in the world that creates this hatred. And that the only way they can hate somebody is they're throwing out racial slurs. It just isn't acceptable, and fair play for Sterling for backing up the player. I was going to say his name. I can't remember his name. But yeah, Kean, I think it is pronounced. So well done for Sterling for that. And shame and Bonucci as well. Very well done. And I think a lot of clubs in the Italian Serie A should be shamed as well. Going on a good thing, though, about football today, which is to do with, gender or racial. The American national football team, I think, have been given the rights to be or to have equal pay with the men's team. And that's right. They should be. To be fair, especially with American football, the women's team dominate football. If anybody wants to look up who is the best gender team to watch, it probably is the women. They've won World Cups, they've won trophies, they're the best in the world. They are Brazil of football in America, in the world, but they are American. And much praise goes out to them women, because they deserve it. You're a part of your national team. Everybody is competing in the same competitions. Okay, the footballing sense, yeah, of course, a man's game is going to be a lot more heavier. But when you're a part of a national society like that of football, that needs to be pushed into every single team, under 18s, under 15s, youngsters, women's, men's. It needs to be sorted out. And well done to America for at least offering that they'll do that for them. So congratulations to the American national football team for at least getting their right for gender equal pay. Yes. Sorry, I've been thinking about it all day. I've been looking up loads of things. I've been trying to find out different opinions on what's been happening today, and to sort of come out with my own emphasis on what's happened. This is exactly how I'm feeling right now. And yeah, it's just shocking with the first statement that I made, what happened. But yeah, the second thing that I brought up shows you progress in some sort of kind. Of course, we've got, in proper football news, talking about football, we've got FA Cup coming up this weekend. We've got Premier League. We've got Southampton and Liverpool tomorrow, which is a crucial game because obviously Man City have gone ahead by another point. So Liverpool have got to step up, and obviously they'll be one game ahead, so it's still a little bit far behind. Let's see. It's going to be a very interesting game tomorrow. Interesting weekend, and of course, midweek, we've got Champions League. And yes, Liverpool obviously playing against Porto. And I'll be wearing my Porto shirt, shouting out the Porto fans. The Dragon Stadium, that's for me. Obviously, much respect to Liverpool if they do go through. I'm not biased at all completely, but a little bit of banter. Man United fan, I'm going to say that, aren't I? And I love Porto. They've been a great European team for many years, and I went to their stadium a couple of years back, did a whole tour, sat in the chairman's seats, and yeah, Portugal football isn't as bad as everybody else makes. So yeah, much praise to Porto. Probably the lowest team in it at the moment, and probably the most likely to go out to, apart from Manchester United, who have got Barcelona on Wednesday, which, after how Man United have been playing recently, it's not very good at all. But we'll see. Man United beat PSG away, so you just never know. But with Messi and co, like I've said before, it's doubtful. But I hope that's what a fan does. Just supports them, even if you think it's negative. So that's pretty much it for today. I didn't want to go too much on what else is happening, because I'll probably update you in the next day or two on the football stuff, but I just wanted to give you my thoughts on the outrage of the racism that happened today, or sorry, rather last night. And yeah, give me your thoughts, comments, share, and subscribe. And a major thing, kick out racism. Don't do it. Honestly, it won't get you anywhere. Treat everybody like they're brothers and sisters, you know? We don't have to pick people out on skin colour, okay? So thank you very much for watching. Sorry about my rant. Not too much of a rant, really, compared to other people, but still, thank you very much for checking out. Subscribe, and have a good evening. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.